Welcome to another episode, our second episode of Late Night Latte with NdalaLive. I'm so excited for tonight because with me I have Gayla Huber, who happens to be one of my favorite people in the whole world. And we are going to talk a little bit. She was actually also one of the first individuals to buy my book, which was very flattering. And so we're going to talk a little bit about the book tonight. Gayla, I want you to introduce yourself and tell everybody who you are. I mean, everyone in the performance marketing space knows exactly who you are, but for those who are not in the performance marketing space, please introduce yourself.
I am Gayla Huber. I am a 50-year-old lady who lives in Kansas City. I'm a giant Chiefs fan.
Oh,
I
okay.
could say work stuff, but that's so boring. I've got two dogs that are critically thinking on how to get treats currently.
Okay. I
Um,
love that.
like they're pretty good. I was actually thinking today, dogs are really good at critical thinking because they always find a way.
They always find a way.
They always find a way. Yeah, I have a wonderful husband, and yeah, I'll skip the work stuff. We'll
Are
probably
you
talk
sure
about
you want to, you
talk
sure you
about the
want to
book.
skip the work stuff?
I
Okay.
know Ashley's gonna be like, you didn't say where you're from. I'm from IntegriShield,
Yes,
and it's an
thank you.
amazing compliance company, and I love it. And we have a great culture, and
And what Gayla's not telling you, Gayla, what is your role at IntegriShield, please?
one of the owners.
Okay. And just quickly, what does IntegriShield do? The awesomeness that I'm so impressed with all the time. Go ahead.
We are a compliance monitor. We find things on the internet that almost nobody else can find. We find the unknown. So, like, we can find what you know too if you need to monitor that, but we can find right now, we mostly get hired to look for trademark infringements that exist all over the globe. We're in 50 countries. We do a lot for the affiliate folks out there, finding ads that drive content to them. But yeah,
I
so
love it. So you guys basically help to find people that are scamming other people too, right?
we do. So I like to go and show up at regulator offices and let them know that I took down more fraudulent websites than they did every year.
I love it.
That's my favorite thing to do is walk in with that number.
I love that. I love that. Okay, that's awesome. Well, we are here to discuss a little bit of rethinking thinking, a
Got
practical
mine.
guide. Yay! A practical guide for solving real problems from the boardroom to the breakfast table. And the great thing is that I think Gayla is a perfect person to chat with because she can relate to both of those situations, both of those scenarios. So, let's see. I guess the first question would be what stood out for you about this book? Like, was there one thing in particular that you were just like, when you first read it, you said, wow.
Yeah, so right at the beginning, because I was kind of reading the opening, and I am not, and I've talked to you about this before, but I am not a linear thinker. I am like, imagine a word cloud. That's my head. Like, I don't think normal. And so, the one thing that the book did for me, and you can see I've got my little paper clips. There's a lot
Love
of
it.
pages that I paper clipped in here that have just certain words, and you bolded some of them, so you knew I needed that.
I knew.
Um,
I knew.
that
Yeah.
I can take it and like which page? There's a page in here, and oh yeah, page 103 that I use all the time. And I was just telling you we need to get some like swag,
Mm.
some like framed things that I can hang up and put this like everywhere I am, or a little
Uh-huh.
card,
What
because
page is that? What page are you on?
103,
Okay. I think you
you
said that.
call it the thinking tools, but for
Oh,
me,
yeah.
it's the order in which I need to do things,
Yes.
because I can't make myself do that without actually thinking about doing that.
Yeah. This is what sort of thinking about your thinking. Remember?
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yes,
that's
I told
really
you about that. So hard.
thinking about your thinking while you're thinking.
Yes.
You
Like, I'm
gotta,
going to think this through. Wait a
yes.
second. No more
Yes.
word cloud. Let me
Yes.
actually think about it in the order I need to think about it.
Yes, I love it. I love this. So these are
If
the
you could
elements of
only,
thought.
so your next book, how to have it come out of my mouth in that order.
Okay, no, no, no. Let me tell you what's going to happen. The more you go, the more you do this, the more it's gonna resonate and the more you're going to remember it. Because I remember when I first learned this framework, that's what this is on this page. These are the critical thinking elements of thought, right? So when I first learned the framework, I knew all the words. They weren't foreign to me because they're easy. Like you're talking about purpose, questions, information, assumptions, all these things, right? But I didn't think about it as a recipe. Now I see it as a recipe. And it's not something that you have to use from top to bottom. Like you don't have to go through all 8 elements of thought all the time. But when you start going through them, the more of them you use, then the better your thinking is going to be. So, and you will, trust me, it will
Now,
get better.
my thing right now that I've been able to do since I first met you is if I'm like not really thinking about my thinking, I do notice I still now when I'm trying to make a decision, I will have thought to myself, did I ask a question I normally wouldn't have asked? That's
Mm,
my one. So if I do nothing else, I say, did I ask a question I normally wouldn't ask?
I love that. I
So
love
that's
that.
the one thing that I just do now without thinking about it.
See? See? That happens.
Yeah.
Look how it
So I
happens
got like
slowly.
7 more to go.
It's gonna work. I promise. It's gonna land. It takes time. It really does. And especially like life is always what my kids say, life is lifing or life be lifing, right? So it's like when things are happening, a lot of times everything, okay, so this is a part of it, right? So assumptions have to do with your prior knowledge. It has to do with what your frame of reference is, which includes everything that's happened before right now. So it's natural for when something happens for all of that stuff to kick in first, right? All of the way you normally have done things, the habits that you had, or those things kick in first. And then it's that second step, like, okay, have I asked myself the right questions? Am I making some assumptions? Wait a minute, what is my purpose really in doing what I'm doing? So, yeah. So it takes time. And even when you've been doing it for, I don't know, I guess I've been doing it for a while now, but even now, there are times where I don't use my critical thinking skills as well as I should. We're going to keep that between us. No,
I won't tell anyone
thank
except
you.
for everyone that's going to
Except
watch.
everyone that's going to hear this. But no. So good. Okay. So you had said something earlier, which struck me as something I probably need to do, that there probably needs to be something small that people can just walk with, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, like a little like credit card.
yeah,
Or like I would buy more than one thing. I would buy a little frame thing for my
yeah,
desk
yeah,
and a little credit card for my
for your
wallet
wallet. Yeah.
because I've been just keeping this in my backpack.
Oh my
And as
gosh.
much as
I
I
walk with mine
travel,
too. Yeah.
not that I don't love it in Dala, but
It's a lot.
some's got to give in that backpack.
Yeah.
So I need a little card.
Yeah, a little card. And then yeah, and so no, I got you. I feel you. Like a bookmark or something. I don't know. Well,
Yeah.
I'll
Well,
figure
that's
it
a
out.
great idea because then I could take
Yeah.
it in any book I'm taking. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good point. So maybe I'll do something and put some information on a bookmark like that. That'll be fun. That'll be fun
Yeah.
for
Because I honestly have to open it to that one page, 103.
yeah,
If I'm
okay.
really like alone and have time to think, I try to back up and
And take some time on it.
yeah.
Yeah. So you ask yourself, so now you say you ask yourself, is there another question that you could be asking about
Yeah.
whatever it is you're
That's
doing? You
my
ask
I
it.
don't have to think about that anymore thing that I ask myself.
Yeah. Yep. So that's good. So what else? Is there something else that kind of stands out for you in the book?
A lot of things were me. A lot of the funny things were me, unfortunately, like not some of the not great ones, like that's sad. But
It's all of us. I bet.
the you know, like I try so hard and like you can always do better. But like the modes, I was reading those and like I do think I go into almost every situation and not the most critical way. And a lot of times it is just the mode. My ADHD takes over a little bit. So that one was definitely me. Um, but yeah, there's like some of the okay, so remember, I don't know what page it's on, but remember the section about where it's like the outcomes and like I can't remember which person it was that was like the story, and then you had the outcomes, and like they go
Yeah.
to the office, and then this person, their
Yeah.
negative result was this, and then the negative result.
Yes. Yeah.
That really resonated with me enough that I don't know the page, but I can see it in my mind.
Yeah.
Because especially when you're the leader of a company, you always want to come in calm, but I know that there are days where like whatever I do starts the day off bad, and I
Mm.
know by the end of that day everyone's day was bad because of me.
Okay. So
And you
you're
hate those
talking,
days. Like,
so, so
like,
that's great. That's really, really good. So you're talking about something that affects all of us. So this is like modes and filters, right? So
yeah,
we're
filters.
talking
That would be
about,
the
yeah,
section.
the filters are the way that we process information through whatever filter we're using, right? And so that could be a filter could be something that's been there for a very, very long time. It could be something that got put in place. I guess other people might call them, these are just a part of our system as we grow, that there are these things that get put in place. And so then we filter everything that we're doing through those filters. Like the lady in the book who who was dealing with not accepting criticism, or she had some issues when it came to especially men telling her things about what she should
I
do.
remember that. Yeah.
She had to learn professionally how to handle that, but she had a filter because her father was very critical of her when she was younger, and then that created this filter where she didn't want men telling her what to do, or she had this way that she looked at whenever a man talked to her, or tried to give her any kind of corrective criticism or healthy criticism even. But she learned how to deal with it in a professional setting so that she didn't like flip out. But then her response to it wasn't great. Her mental response to it wasn't great. Modes have to do with things that may happen in the moment. So this morning, you see something on the news, and now you're in a particular mode because of whatever that thing was that you saw. So in the book on page 27, it says, in the context of thinking, a mode refers to the particular manner or mindset through which someone approaches a situation, problem, or decision making process. Modes can significantly influence the quality of our thinking and shape the outcome of our reasoning. Modes can be good or bad, but either way, it's important to recognize the mode that you're in. And so, yeah, I think that that's one of the big things that affects people, because there can be a situation where you're working with somebody who generally is pretty nice, and then that one day something has happened in their life and you're like, why are they responding this way? Or why are they treating me like this? Or they're snapping at people in the office, and what's going on? Or they're not being a nice person. But there's something that's happened in their backstory that day or the day before or whatever that they're dealing with that's creating this mode that they're now in. So yeah. I think that affects all of us. I think that
The,
affects all of us. But it's
yeah.
just really important that we understand that mode, right? Because if you can understand the mode that you're in and say, you know what, I am not feeling the greatest today, um, then either you can let people know that, hey, be patient with me today because this happened, or not even like a lot of people don't necessarily want to share any type of really personal stuff like that. Some do, depends on which generation you're dealing with. But, you know, um, to be able to say, there's something on my mind, I'm working on compartmentalizing it, but just, forgive me if something's happening that may be a little different today. And I think people appreciate the authenticity. What do you think about that?
I know. I think that's great. I'm glad you said that because I did that the other day. I got on a team call.
Yeah.
I was in a really bad mood. So
Okay.
I just said, I'm really cranky today, guys, because of X, Y, and Z. I was like, maybe don't hit me up today.
Let me tell you. And I think people appreciate that. I think people appreciate it when you're authentic about how you're feeling about it. And I mean, okay, so everybody doesn't necessarily want to hear the whole story, but to just say there's something happening. And so it has me in this little bit of a mode. I'm working on it. I think that that's really good and that can be helpful. And
I'm
I
sure
bet
they
you,
love it.
I'm telling you right now, that happened to thousands of people. That same day that happened to you, that happened to thousands of people because I mean, we're all our human life is so interesting. Whether it's driving to work and somebody cutting you off in traffic, or somebody gets a call first thing in the morning that's not a great call, or somebody's watching the news in the morning and there's like a home invasion somewhere close by, their part of town or whatever it is. We get these pieces of information, we get these calls, we read something, we see something on our phone, some news clipping, some report, and we get upset, or it puts us in a place. So yeah. So that's good. So that's really good. I think you're dealing with it very well. I'm sure your team members appreciated that.
Maybe we'll see.
You'll
No
see.
one hit me up, so that was good.
Oh yeah, they were like, let's leave her
It
alone.
was a day of no hitting me up for anything.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you had a little piece that day, I guess.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
okay. So, what else? I know there was something else that you marked in there.
I marked a lot of things in here. I don't know that we want to go through everything I marked in here. So everything in pink is so I can quickly find it. I have paper clips for the most important things
Okay,
and
nice.
flaps for the other things. Like, so did I tell you when I started reading this? And that's why when you were asking me that first question, I said, well, from the beginning, when I
Mm-hmm.
first started reading it, I was really using it as like a toolkit, and I was like making notes and like, so I couldn't even get through it very quick.
That makes me
So
so happy.
at one point, I was like, I'm going to get a highlighter out because it's taking forever to get through it,
Yeah,
just because I kept stopping and doing things.
yeah.
um,
I love that. No, that
but
makes me
yeah,
really
I mean,
happy.
there's lots of sections in here. So like the part where you talk about My Way or the Highway Chronicles.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all
Not
try
you,
not to
Gayla.
do that, but
Is
we
that
do
that's not you?
that. Like sometimes we do that, I think.
Mm.
When you hit the end of your rope that day,
Okay.
that is my fallback is
Okay. And your
I
flexibility has
could think
become less
about this, I could
flexible.
critically think about this, I could do anything, I could listen to you,
Yeah.
but I'm not going to.
Yeah.
So like that's
You're like,
maybe a
I'm
bigger
gonna do it.
personality flaw than critical thinking.
You're like, okay, I can think critically as long as I'm not at the end of my rope. If I'm at the end of my rope, we're not thinking critically anymore.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
just gonna get it done and we're gonna pretend this didn't happen.
But at least you know that about yourself.
I guess.
Remember, this is about
So
understanding
like
the different.
birthday gift guru, that one's marked. I get my feelings hurt really bad and I have to stop overthinking about everything, overthinking all the things.
Okay. So now
Yeah.
we have to see how we can do that. So the
So like
framework can
that
actually help
that
you
one I
do
have
that
marked,
too.
but not really for critical thinking, I don't think. I think I marked that because I was like, I just need to remember that that's something that, to work on.
That's okay. So, and that was, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, all right.
What other parts I have marked in here?
And like the overthinking too. I have a lot of people when I'm doing sessions who'll ask me how much thinking is too much thinking. And I always know that what they mean is that they overthink things. But the great thing about the framework is that if you find yourself overthinking it, you can literally take a step back and start going around the elements of thought, and that will help you. It'll help guide you. It's almost like you have a recipe that you're putting too much of something into, and you're like, maybe it needs more of this, or maybe it needs a little bit more of this. Well, no, I know I've put a teaspoon. Maybe I should put 2 teaspoons. Well, what about three? Okay, wait a minute. Let me go back and look at the recipe. Oh, the recipe said 1 teaspoon is fine, so I'm good. Right? So I think and I always say this, like the elements of thought are like a recipe for thinking. So you could do the exact same thing. If you find yourself overthinking it and you get stressed because you're like, I'm really overthinking this, then say, wait a minute, step back. Let me go back to that page, which I never remember exactly where it is because I have that list so many places in here already. So page 103,
Yeah.
and just go through the framework again and go through it quickly, because by that time, if you've been thinking that hard about it, you are already answering some of the questions around the through that are a part of the framework anyway. So yeah.
I so the purpose checkup. Do you remember that section? It's
Yes.
very
What page
small,
are we on?
but I have it highlighted. It's page 62.
Thank
And
you.
it's just what am I really trying to achieve here? What am I about to be aligned with that purpose? And will this help me reach my actual goal?
Mm-hmm.
And so like right now there's a lot going on at in the office and
Mm-hmm.
at the company that like those three things probably have helped me the most this week. Those
That's
three.
awesome.
Because every time I have a conversation, I feel like at the end of it, I haven't gotten anywhere. So then I just backtrack through the conversation and I'm like, okay, what in today's stuff answered those three questions
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
to get to the next days.
Yeah. And the last question, the will this help me reach my actual goal, is really important because think about, I am sure that in your role at the company, you've sat in meetings where people have mentioned something that had nothing to do with the actual goal. And then it can go haywire. Like the whole meeting can just go a whole different way. And then you find yourself trying to reel everybody back in because it might even be great conversation. It might even be really good stuff that they're saying. But if it's not a part of what your goal is for the meeting, then that can be a little frustrating. So yeah, this is a good question. Good question,
Yeah.
all three.
Yeah. I think like today's conversation, now that we're just talking, it's just me and you, so I can get your help. Today's conversation,
I
there
see
was
a
just,
I see a
there
fur
were,
baby in the background.
oh, is he hanging out? Oh, he
He's
really
hanging.
wants to come over and say
Hey,
hi. Yeah, he's
hello.
been trying to get over here. Hey, baby. Um,
Oh, so sweet. Okay.
so today's conversation, I felt like some of the other people in the conversation, everything coming out of their mouths was hitting me as like an opinion, not a fact,
Okay.
and personal, not business. And so like I think I've had one of the hardest, not hard conversations, like nobody's getting fired or anything like that, but like
Yeah.
trying to make a big decision.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel like we were all on the same page.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of glad we're doing this because I'm gonna probably,
So yeah, and that's
yeah, do some
another
of these with
way.
them.
Yeah, I mean, that's another way that this works because we say critical thinking, but it's really strategic thinking, right? So we're talking about how we manage our strategic thought within an organization or within a company. And if you have people that are in there and they are not, I mean, okay, do you remember how many times I said in the book when there were people that were saying, we need to do this, and then somebody would be like, yeah, we need a ping pong table, or yeah, we need a foosball table. And I know that's a little ridiculous because I'm sure maybe it will happen every now and again, but for the most part, people don't go quite to that extreme, but it feels that way. So you've got this thing that you're trying to deal with, and then people are, like you said, bringing in things that are personal, bringing in things that are more opinion than fact, and not sticking to the facts. So then the question becomes, how can you use the framework in those meetings and share the framework? Like you were saying, like, can we just tear out? What did you say earlier? Like, can I
Yeah,
just tear out, like,
168, I think, to 188. Just cut that sucker out, and it's going to be our new version of Cliff Notes in the
yes,
digital.
I love it. Okay, let me see. Oh, yeah, chapter 8, critical thinking in the office. Right. So I may have to, like, what do we say? I may have to just do a booklet that is just that.
Yeah,
And I am gonna do eventually, because it took me long enough to write this one, but I am gonna eventually do one that is just for the office and one that is just for home, just for personal. So yeah. So I
I
am
think
gonna
the
do that.
one, oh, I mean, I'm thinking how great the office one will be, but actually, I think there's so many people out there that don't have access in their careers to this kind of information, and they might actually would rather have something for at home,
Mm.
like
Yeah.
just to make their home lives run a little bit smoother.
Well, I can't, honestly, whenever I do this session, and I mean, I do mean whenever. I don't know that there's been a time that I have done this session in a corporate setting, Gayla, where someone has not come up to me afterwards and asked me about something personal that's happening at home. There's never been a time. And that's because we know this life is interrelated. So if you're having a challenge at work, if you're having a challenge at home, it's going to affect what's happening at work, right? Just like if you're having a challenge at work, it's going to make you feel some kind of way and you might carry that home with you, you know? But because of the interrelation, people have a tendency. I mean, people like I was doing a session for a group of medical students, and one of the professors, one of the doctors who was teaching them, came up and asked me, and I was like, "Oh, this is going to be great because this is going to be all about healthcare." And it was not. It was about something happening in their home life. And so, I think you're right. I think both ways. I think it'll be helpful for us to have information for the office to apply, but I think it's going to be very beneficial to have information for home as well. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think this would be really good for my kids,
Oh yeah. Now, how old are your
like
kids?
my nieces and nephews.
Mm-hmm.
So well, I have 10, so like
Nieces
really
and
little
nephews.
ones, but I do have three that are out of high school now.
Okay.
So I think this would be really good for them, especially the two girls. The boy kind of seems
Um,
like he's got his stuff together, but the girls, I feel like no, that's not what this is about. But sometimes
No,
women
no,
just don't have
no.
access to all the things.
So no, because I was going to say too, like I feel I'm getting ready to do so I have to do a series because students have been asking me for it for a long time about relationships, friendships, relationships, dating. I did one a while ago and I was surprised at the response. But people want to know how to deal with things that are emotional things in a more practical and logical way. And I have some stories myself of some things that happened when I was in college where I was not a very good thinker. And so I can, I'm very excited about being able to share that. And a lot of times it's young women that are asking. And I love this framework for that. I love it because it
Yeah.
can really help them. I mean, just to give a, not even to give it away. I talk about this in sessions all the time. I mean, if you're in a relationship with someone before you even get into a relationship, you need to understand 103, right? Page 103. Like,
Hmm.
what's my purpose in being in a relationship? What's the purpose of a relationship? Right. So these are questions that we don't normally ask. We're looking for somebody who we like. We're looking for somebody who's attractive. We're looking for somebody who fits the mold of what it is we're looking for a relationship. But we don't think about our thinking when it comes to a relationship. And so this would be great for that, as
Oh
well.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because young people sometimes they don't even know that they don't need to be in one yet. They're so young.
Yeah. And then we have individuals who are, more mature like us, and they are in relationship after relationship after relationship, and they don't know why relationships keep going bad. And it's just because they're really not critically thinking through what's going on, you know? And then we sit and we chat, and then it's like, okay, well, you find out that their definition of why they're in the relationship, they haven't really thought about what is the purpose of having someone who you're that close to, and what are the boxes that I need to make sure are being checked before I really get into this situation. So yeah, it's good. It's a good recipe.
Yeah.
It's a great recipe. So did you say your daughters are just out of high school? Both your daughters are.
Yeah, my two oldest nieces.
Oh, your
So,
two oldest nieces. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, I call them my kids, but they're my
Yeah.
nieces and
Yeah. No, I
nephews
understand that.
that were my sisters. And yeah, Mac is already like out of college, has a great job, and Satchel, she's here in Kansas City with me,
Oh, I
and
love that.
um, she's working. She's gonna be a doula, which I'm so excited for her because she is just all about taking care of
I
like
love
mothers and
that.
babies and
I love
helping with
that.
that. So I
Love,
just
love,
can't wait for
love.
her to be able to do that. And then Oakley just graduated and she's getting married in September.
Oh, there's a good place for some good critical thinking.
Yeah, she's gonna
Yeah.
be a Marine wife. So like,
Oh, got you.
yeah,
That's that's
it's a lot.
amazing, but it's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been amazing to see them grow up.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? This kind of the stuff that you taught me, this isn't the first time, just to be clear to everyone on like anybody watching this, like you and I have talked before. I've
Yeah, we
sat
have.
through your sessions before.
Yeah.
So I had a little head start,
Yeah.
but it helps with talking to Oakley too about the logistics of getting married and are you ready to have a wedding
Yeah.
and
All the questions.
yeah, have
Like
you thought all these things through
what assumptions
and
are you making about what's
yeah.
happening? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love
So
it.
it's been really helpful for that. And when you do this, it changes like it's not like, oh, I'm checking up on you and asking you all these tough questions to be nosy. It changes it. Like if you do it, if you follow like the order and you do all those things, it gets you like just in a normal conversation and you
Yeah.
guys go back and
Yeah.
forth. So it's been
Rethinking
really
thinking
helpful.
might be a good pre-wedding gift for the two of them. You know what I've always thought? I've always thought, what if the two people that are getting married both understand how to understand their own thinking and how to critically think through whatever comes up? Because if they're both speaking that same language, it can really change the dynamic. It can transform a relationship from chaos to organization, which is amazing. Yeah, I
Yeah,
love that.
absolutely. No, this would actually be a great book for her to read.
Yeah. And him too.
Yeah, when he gets back from Japan.
When oh, he's overseas right now.
Yeah.
I got you. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
No, well, good. Well, congratulations to her. I obviously I wish them all the best. Yeah, and this would be this. I think it would be great for her to know the framework at least and understand it. So, okay, so what else? What else strikes you? Let me see. There's something in here I was going to share. Let's see. Um,
Got more highlighted.
I, you know what my daughter said when I finished this book? My 29-year-old, the one that made me a grandma, because she's got three babies. She said to me after she read it, she was one of the first individuals to read the manuscript as when I finished it, because she helped me with the editing. And so one of the things that she said to me after I gave her a chance to read it, I was really excited to hear what her thoughts were. And she says, Mama, she says, this is going to be one of those books where you can just open it anywhere and start reading and get value from what it is you're reading. And I thought, that's incredible because it's more of a, then that becomes more of a guidebook. And that's really what I wanted. And so that helped me as I chose the title for it because that's what I wanted. I wanted it to be something that people could use. And it was, you know, me, I want it to be applicable. I don't want to just throw information at you. You know, I want this to be something that you can use in every moment, every day. So,
Yeah. So
yeah.
the other part that I had marked here that was big for me, and I actually wrote ADHD real
Oh
big
my
on the page.
gosh.
Um, but that was just my first thought at this section. By the time
Okay.
I was done with the section, that's not what I was thinking. But it's page 83, when
Yep.
assumptions go wild.
Okay. Okay. I remember that section. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Um, you and I have a similar upbringing, I think.
Yes, we chatted
And
about
it
that.
is really one of those things where like there could be a lot of assumptions made. Like I know like how like really strongly people wanted me to think certain ways about things. um,
Same, same.
and so I liked this section. I remember slowing down at this section and just enjoying it just because um, I think I still make a ton of assumptions that I shouldn't make. I think on a
Mm,
daily basis, I make assumptions I shouldn't make just listening to the radio. Um,
yeah.
I'm not one of those people that's like, I'm not commenting and discussing things on social media. So like that doesn't really like ring for me, but um, just private thoughts in my head. I
Yeah.
think I don't always research things enough
Yeah.
sometimes before I accept whatever I've heard.
Well, my one of my favorite parts of critical thinking is addressing assumptions. That's one of my favorite parts because I'm all about the human to human interaction, human to human engagement, human to human experience. And I believe that one of the things that really damages us in that human to human experience are the assumptions that we make. I believe that if we can learn to to if we can learn to recognize, because like you've heard me say this, it's not about making the assumption, because we're going to do that because that comes from our prior knowledge, especially if something happens to you over and over. If you've experienced something and then something starts to happen and you're like, oh wait, I've experienced this before, you're automatically going to go to what you already know. Your mind is not going to go to where it hasn't been. It's always going to go to where it's already been. So, with that said, that means that anything that you see, anything that's happening, there could be prior knowledge that causes you to make an assumption. So, it's not about making the assumption, it's about what do you do with it after that? Like, what do you do? And that's why, even as I'm saying, when assumptions go wild, you notice that in here, it's like, this guy, Kevin, and he's seeing these different things and then he makes assumptions about them very quickly. But think of how many other things you could make up. Like, how many other things when you see a person who is, like, even just this first one, the teenager with tattoos. Depending on how you feel about tattoos or how you feel about people who tattoo themselves, that can be an issue, right? So I grew up, we had talked about this. I grew up in a space where there was a lot of stuff that was taboo, supposed to be taboo, and tattoos were one of those things.
Mm,
So so when I initially was growing up and I saw someone with a tattoo, immediately in your mind you're like, this person is a rebel, right? And then you realize that as you get older and more mature, you realize this is not the case.
Right, because people get tattoos, as we know now, for a lot of reasons.
A lot of reasons. A lot
Not
of
always to
reasons.
rebel.
Right. A lot of reasons for good memories. For, I have a cousin who had so many tattoos, and I have a cousin, and many of my relatives were concerned about the number of tattoos that she had, but nobody ever asked a question to find out from her why she had so many tattoos. And finally, somebody said to me, "You need to talk to her." Why? Why? I'm not a counselor. I'm not a therapist. I don't want to talk to anybody about stuff like that. But the first thing I did when I did reach out to her was, "What's with the tattoos? Like, tell me about that." And she said, "I have the same number of tattoos as my daughter's years of life, and every year I get a tattoo that memorializes something that she and I experienced together in that year." I mean, that was so beautiful to me. And no one had ever asked her about it because they just kept looking at the idea, the concept of having a tattoo as being something that wasn't good.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
No, and growing up in the same environment,
Yes.
we come into it as like, there are many things
Yes.
that are not okay. So like the whole pastime of sitting and like people watching,
Yes.
it's literally just to sit there and be like, see someone and judge them. Like, you know, that that's maybe I don't tend to sit and people watch just for the purposes of that. Oh,
Yeah.
but man, yes, I definitely make too many assumptions when I'm doing that.
No, I do. I think as I grew up, I did the same thing. And now there are things that pop into my head when I see certain things. And then I have to tell myself, I have to say, "Ndala, why'd you think that? Like, that's not even, why would you even go there? You know?" And then I remind myself, like I said, it's not the assumption, it's what you do with it after that. The assumption doesn't make you a horrible person if you have a negative assumption about somebody, because it's coming from somewhere. That thought that you have is coming from somewhere. So then the question is, well, where is that coming from? Like, where is this thought coming from? And then you think about your thinking while you're in the process of watching this person and saying, huh, there could be a lot of other things that I'm just not seeing, that I'm not taking into consideration. So,
Yeah, my mom had my brother, she remarried, had my brother when I was 12. And everywhere we went, because I would always want to hold my brother, people always thought he was my child. And I was
yeah,
12. And
yeah,
I was like, what is wrong with you?
yeah.
I could not have this baby. But they were assuming that I was
Hmm.
a little
Hmm.
bit slutty,
Oh, the judgment,
that my
the
mom
judgment.
was
Yeah,
too old. And
yeah.
I'm like,
Come on now. So not only are they making an assumption about you, they're judging you, but they're also judging your mom too.
I know, totally judging
And
my
and
mom.
wrong on both counts. Wrong
Yeah.
on
And
both counts.
now my
Yeah.
brother hates it. The one that used to be the baby.
Yeah.
He doesn't like to walk next to me because he doesn't like it when people assume he's my husband.
Oh, because he's old enough now. And you look
He's
so
like,
beautiful
no,
and
I'm
young.
12
Yeah.
years younger than you. And no, I did not marry an old lady. So
Oh, see,
he does not want that
that's funny.
assumption.
There's actually a lot of that happening these days. You can find a lot of women that are
It
married to
is.
men who are 12
Yeah.
and 15 years younger than them. Good for them. No. Okay. So, but yes, no. This is great. So, okay, so I'm like, I cannot believe time went by like this. Like, we've just been talking about this
Oh
book
my
and it is
God.
already
Like an
almost,
hour.
yes. Okay, so here's my question then. Um okay, so a couple questions. So from your perspective, has is and I kind of already know the answer, but I still want you to say it. Has this book been good for you? Are you glad that you got this book? Yeah.
I'm glad I got the book. I'm even more glad that I met you because hearing you talk about it and then reading the book, I think I got more out of it because I
Yeah.
heard your voice the whole time I was reading it.
Oh my gosh, people keep saying that, and that makes me so happy.
So like feel like I have one up on people that have only read the book. But yeah, it 100% has made a difference. But it ever since the first time I heard you talk, I knew I had to start doing what you were saying
I love it.
because it just made so much sense. Like if you're listening to this and you have not read the book, this is not this is not a self-help book that's boring. This is not a like a college book that you buy. This is like it has like your stories like you have stories in here, like actual stories and examples, and assuming that they're fake and they weren't all about us, but like the people you know
You know what? That's what I
that
was
they
scared
might
about.
be.
I was like, somebody in here is like, she wrote about me. I can't believe she wrote about me. But no,
Yeah.
I
But it
purposely,
will help you
yeah,
if you read
yeah,
this book, because you don't even have to remember. Like I've actually read the pages several times, like not in order, just going back to sections, but like if you just get it and you tear out 103, I promise that will help you.
yeah. And I need to make the pages perforated. That's what we need to do.
Yeah, 103 is like, but I'm that all that to say that you don't, it's not a, it's a book we can all read and we
Yeah,
can all get something out of it.
yeah. Well, that makes me happy because that's exactly what I intended for this. And that's why I said I wanted it to span. Actually, when I was getting ready to do this, I had people that would tell me I needed to choose a niche. They were like, you need to choose who the book is for. And I was like, it's for everybody. They're like, no, you need to choose who it's for. Are you talking to people who are executives and working in companies? Are you talking to teenagers? Are you talking to parents? Who are you talking to? And I'm like, yeah, I'm talking to all of those people. So I don't understand why I have to do that. And so I'm really grateful for the fact that it came out the way I wanted it to come out and that people are finding value from it.
Yeah,
So,
one of my teenagers could read this
yeah.
and take away good things from it. Yeah, it's for everybody.
Yeah, my nephew is 18 now, and when my brother and sister-in-law, they were out of town when the book arrived on their porch, and when they got there, my nephew snagged it, and he spent the next couple of days, next few days, and it's an easy read too. I mean, like you said that it slowed you down a little bit because you were marking things and making notes and stuff like that. But I mean, you could get through the book in a short period of time. Sori was
Note
with
to
us last time.
everyone,
Yeah.
make notes after.
Make notes after. Get your highlighter.
Just
Just
get the
make notes.
highlighter and
Yeah.
some like little paper clips and things, and that'll
Yeah.
make it go. That'll be easier because the book reinforces throughout the book. I
Yes.
wasn't gonna just because like the first time I did it was like page 12 where I started making notes.
Okay, that's right
And
at the
then I
very
was
front.
like, and then I was like forever to get a few pages in because I was like, no, I'll forget. But I was like, no, the whole book reinforced it the whole way through.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that by the end, it's not like I was forgetting page 12. I was just reinforced on future pages.
Oh, I love that. I'm
So that's
hearing some things I haven't heard, and this is really great. I love this. It makes my heart feel really good to know that it is that it is landing the way that I wanted it to land. At least for Gayla.
for me.
At least for Gayla. I am just thrilled. Is there anything else you want to throw in here before we close?
I don't think so. I just appreciate you so much.
Well, I appreciate you so much too. I really do. And I'm hoping that when we do a group session, I still want you to come back and but I really enjoyed this space just with you this evening. And of course, I have to say this for those who are listening, watching, I am going to put my link tree down below the video. And so all of my stuff is in there. Whether you want to go and buy the book, there's a link for that there. There's a link to all my information. If you want to reach out and talk to me, I am always open to chat with people about critical thinking and to help people critically think something through. So please feel free to do that. If there's something that you want to help to support, I had one of my advisors advised me to sign on with Buy Me a Coffee, which is interesting. And I didn't even ask Gayla what she was drinking at the beginning. I know what she was drinking, but I didn't ask her. She's got her, what did you call it? Your
My
pink,
Power Pink
your
Yeti is holding some really strong water.
I love it. And I have, of course, my latte, my iced latte this evening is it's a black and white mocha, which is what I do a lot. And I use almond milk and no whip, and I really enjoy those drinks too. So,
Oh, I can't wait to have one tomorrow when I land in Vegas.
ooh, there we go. Oh, Vegas. I think I'm a little jealous, but
Oh
anyway.
no, don't be. It's literally I fly out at 5 a.m., coming home at 8 a.m. the next morning. Like it's
Oh
just
my
there and
gosh,
back same day.
yeah,
So
yeah,
like
yeah. You
not be
got
jealous, but there is a Starbucks at the bag check thing.
nice. I think that's it. So just thank you so much for being here with me this evening. And we'll look forward to another session at some point soon. And
All
safe
right,
travels
thanks
to
for
you
having
too.
me.